Hey there, listeners. Are you ready to take your health to the next level? If you've been looking for a way to truly understand your body and unlock vibrant energy, balanced hormones, and a thriving metabolism, I've got something just for you. I'm so excited to announce my 3-part virtual workshop series, Rooted in Health, Cultivating Women's Wellness from the Inside Out. This series is all about you, understanding your unique microbiome, balancing your hormones, and fueling your metabolism in a way that works for your body. Here's what you'll learn: how to optimize your gut health for better digestion, immunity, and mood, the secrets to balancing your hormones and how to understand key health biomarkers, and strategies to support your metabolism through nutrition, fasting, and toxic-free living. And because you're part of this amazing podcast community, I've got a special offer just for you. Use the code Wellness20 at checkout to save 20% on your registration. But hurry, this offer is only available for a limited time. Head over to cultivatedhealth.org to grab your spot now. Let's cultivate your health from the inside out because you deserve to feel your best every single day. Again, that's cultivatedhealth.org, and don't forget to use the code Wellness20 at checkout. I can't wait to see you there. All right, let's get back to today's episode. Welcome to Cultivating Her, the podcast where we uncover the root causes of symptoms, align our lifestyle with hormonal rhythms, and redefine what it means to live a healthy, balanced life. I'm your host, Christy Edgar, and I'm so glad you're here. Today, we're talking about something foundational to everything I discuss on this podcast: lifestyle. But not just any lifestyle, a holistic approach that touches every aspect of your life, from your mindset and emotions to your physical health and even your environment. We're going to explore how these dimensions are interconnected and why addressing the whole picture is the key to true health. I'll also be sharing some practical tips you can start implementing today to transform your lifestyle, as well as a little bit of my personal journey of healing and rediscovery. Whether you're new to holistic health or you've been on this journey for a while, there's something here for you. So grab your favorite beverage, settle in, and let's dive into what it truly means to live a holistic lifestyle. Welcome to Cultivating Her, breaking taboos, balancing hormones, and redefining women's health. I'm your host, Christy Edgar, an integrative nutrition health coach and holistic lifestyle expert. Join me as we dive into the world of menstrual health, hormone balance, and the connection to women's wellness. Whether you're looking to decode your cycle, tackle PMS, or manage menopause, this show is your go-to to syncing your lifestyle with your hormonal rhythms. Through candid conversations, practical tips, and a few expert interviews, Cultivating Her empowers women to embrace their cycles and align their lifestyle to boost energy and thrive in every phase of life. Subscribe now and start flowing with confidence as we redefine what it means to be a woman with harmonious health. Welcome back to the podcast. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about lifestyle. So as a lifestyle expert, I thought maybe I should break that down early on and in depth. So when I talk about lifestyle, I'm not just talking about habits and hobbies. I'm talking about a holistic approach to living that encompasses mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, and environmental health, and addressing the root causes of the imbalances and then creating harmony in all of those aspects of your life. So what I want to do today is explore the true meaning of a lifestyle change, break down the aspects, and then discuss how to start making some impactful changes. Let's start with big picture. Health isn't just one thing. It's not just about eating kale or hitting the gym and high intensity interval training and running miles. True health is about the interconnectedness between your mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, and environmental well-being. For example, chronic stress, a mental health issue, can lead to digestive issues, which then can affect your physical health, which then will impact and strain your relationships and then your emotional health. So it's like this spiral case where one gets affected and the rest kind of fall. like a house of cards. So similarly, the toxins in our environment can disrupt our hormones, which then affect our mental clarity. Everything is so connected. And that's why addressing isolated symptoms without looking at the whole picture often falls short. Remember, what you think and feel do create a ripple effect throughout your body and your life. So in all of my coaching programs, I focus first on mindset. Before you can change your life, you have to decide that change is actually necessary. Alexander Hamilton said, you have to stand for something or you'll fall for anything. So taking ownership of your health has to be the first step. Stop waiting for permission from an external source or just blindly accepting what the medical institution has said or accepting your diagnosis just with sadness and disgrace. Listen to your body and trust its innate intelligence. Don't discredit your questions or your curiosity. Start getting curious about why and what. Start small. Maybe it's just one actionable health goal or practicing an affirmation like, my body is capable of healing. My body knows what it needs. When you shift your mindset, you create a foundation for everything else to fall in place. Where your focus goes, your energy flows. So when we focus on positivity, where do you think our energy will go? If we are focused on the negative, what do you think that does to our psyche? That leads me to mental health. Mental health is the cornerstone of a healthy lifestyle, and setting boundaries is key. And boundaries are not walls, guys. They are gates that you get to control. They're about knowing what you will and will not tolerate to protect your own peace. For example, saying no to overcommitments or to things that don't bring you great amounts of joy and don't serve a purpose in your life can free up time for self-care, for stillness, for other things like your family, your friends, things that do bring you joy, things that are fulfilling, things that align with your vision and your mission and your values in life. So practical tools for mental health include journaling. I can't recommend enough early morning journaling before the ego really has time to wake. Taking walks in nature or forest bathing, grounding yourself, practicing prayer, meditation, gratitude. Oh my goodness, gratitude. Such a powerful tool because when you focus on what you're thankful for, you shift your perspective and invite more positivity into your life. And here's a little sneak peek. Mental health isn't just about your brain. It's also tied to your gut microbiome, which we are going to explore in future episodes. Emotional health is all about connection. Healing doesn't happen in isolation. It happens in community. We're wired for connection. And listening, truly listening, is a powerful way to foster connection. It means listening to others with empathy and trying to understand the other. It also means listening to yourself so that you can understand your own emotions and your own needs. Sharing your stories and hearing other people's experiences can be incredibly healing. It reminds us that we're not alone. So to build emotional health, we have to practice empathy. We need to be in a supportive community, and we have to make the space for meaningful conversations. Because when we connect, we heal. And we don't just heal individually, we heal in the collective. which leads me then to spirituality. Spiritual health is about the connection to something greater than yourself. It's about purpose, gratitude, and love. And when we honor God, our Creator, and our place in the collective, we move beyond our selfish desires and step into a place of service and genuine love, which creates connection. Spiritual practices like a gratitude journal, reflecting in nature, or engaging in community service also release feel-good neurochemicals that give you a sense of purpose. Remember, God created us for community, and it's in those connections that we find purpose and joy and connection. Physical health, that goes so much further than exercise, okay? So much more. Physical health is understanding the systems of the body, understanding how the respiratory system works, how the circulatory system works, how the lymphatic system, how the endocrine system, all of these different systems of the body, understanding how they work and how they're connected. Because when you master the basics of blood sugar balancing, microbiome health, you immediately get hormonal regulation and everything changes. For example, stabilizing your blood sugar can improve your energy, your sleep, and your mood. And feeding your microbiome with fiber-rich and fermented foods helps support strong immune system and good digestion. Understanding your feminine cycle, ladies, allows us to align our lifestyle and all of our choices with those hormonal rhythms so that we can create health. Physical health isn't just about looking good, it's also about feeling good from the inside out. Now, you're just the same as you cannot separate a human being from its mind, you cannot separate the human being from the environment. So, how we treat the earth matters. That's first and foremost. We also need to tend to the environments where we live, learn, and work. So keeping negativity and stress to a minimum in these environments is more beneficial to your health than you would think. It's also really important to address toxicity. Okay, so toxicity can come in human behavior. You can have humans that are toxic, but it also can be chemicals that are in our cleaning products, our beauty products, and sprayed on our food, right? The biome of the earth matters in equal measure to the biome of our human gut. Both have to be healthy in order for humans to be healthy. A thriving planet supports thriving people. So environment matters. Our home environment matters, our work environment matters, and how we treat Big Mama matters. Okay? And right now, it doesn't take a whole lot of searching to see that Big Mama, she's not so happy with us right now. The weather is erratic. Things that are happening are crazy. And we really do need to consider what we are doing to the soil. That'll be more in future episodes as well, but just to kind of plant a little seed to give you something to think about. It does matter. How we treat this planet directly affects the health of every human being on it. And I know sometimes that all of this can be a hard concept to grasp, right? And believe me, I know. I have experienced firsthand, and I know that I shared a little bit of my story about in my early 20s being diagnosed with the chronic fatigue, and that I was told there was no treatment. But for years, I lived predominantly on veggies and fresh fish, lots of leafy greens, seeds and nuts. And before I got pregnant with my daughter, I was the healthiest I had ever been in my life. At 30 years old, I was back to my high school weight and size with no sign of chronic fatigue. I practiced yoga 5 days a week and was training to run a half marathon. I felt amazing mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, all of it. I felt unreal, like I was on the top of the world. And I gave birth to a child, and my husband and I decided that we were going to move to Ohio. Small town in Ohio. For those of you who know me, you know where I live and you know how small it is. For those of you who don't, I can only stress small. And all I really wanted was to fit in and create a happy little small town life with my husband and my baby. If I'm honest, I was dreaming of my very own Stars Hollow because, I'll just say it, I'm a Gilmore Girl junkie. But the joke is on me, because that is not what I got at all. My lack of formal institutionalized education was viewed as inferior. My hippie, quote unquote, their words, not mine, way of thinking was weird and woo. My healthy eating was deemed too much and was called insulting by people. My mindset was considered too progressive. My love of food and cooking all the time was viewed as controlling. Loving, growing, and preserving food was deemed too much work. My decision to expand our family was called irresponsible. My decision to be a stay-at-home mom was called lazy. My views on natural medicine and my questions about medication and vaccinations were dismissed as conspiracy and crazy. I found myself being judged and gossiped about for situations that I was in that were based on no decision of my own. Just being married to who I was married to. My belief in the Lord was questioned often and loudly by people who never bothered to ask me what I believed. Like, they just judged me based on perception and my choice of church, which seems odd. I was told I didn't belong and that I didn't fit in. I mean, I was literally called an outsider multiple times to my face and behind my back. And pretty much every place I tried to connect, I failed. And it was exhausting. And so I gave up, I gave in, and I was like, I'll just do all the things. I'll just be what they want me to be. I will be small, I will be quiet, and I will just exist. All in the name of making friends and wanting to fit in. And for the first couple years, I was too busy growing our family to really notice what was happening. But by the time my youngest came, I was back to being a literal train wreck. The chronic fatigue symptoms had returned with a vengeance. I had a full-fledged stomach issue, candida overgrowth, and an overall dysbiosis. My hair was falling out. I couldn't lose a pound of weight even though I was eating mostly healthy food and exercising. My sleep was absolute garbage. And I can go into so much more detail about all of the things, but mentally I was in a terrible, terrible place. But here's the simple truth in hindsight. I disregarded everything I know to be true about health and well-being because the human condition to connect was so incredibly strong. My youngest is now 10, and it has taken me a decade and a whole lot of hurt and some therapy to be in a place that I can say I am healing. I have learned so much more than I thought was possible about myself, about human health, and about mental health and trauma healing. I know that the journey I have taken was part of who I am supposed to become. I know that this is part of God's plan to allow me to speak from a place of experience. Okay, I'm an expert on the topic of changing your lifestyle because I have lived it. I have been there and back again just so that I can honestly say I get what it's like to try to live a healthy lifestyle within a small community who thinks you're nuts. Okay, but here's what I need you to know. It doesn't matter how little support you have. It doesn't matter how impossible you think it is. It isn't. The more we stick together, the easier it becomes. The more we lean into understanding these 5 principles and working towards them together, the easier we make it for women who come after us, right? Because 1 + 1 is 2, and 2 + 2 is 4, and 4 + 4 is 8, and so on and so on. It's a ripple effect. We start by standing up and taking back our health. We decide to do the hard things, and then we encourage others to join us. We share information so that we are creating an understanding, okay? And we approach everyone and everything to understand the other. Health should be our most important topic right now. There is a serious disconnect between actual health and the healthcare industry, and more people are being failed by an institution that is supposed to be keeping us well. Okay? So doctors are not talking about lifestyle. I am not saying that medicine is bad, okay? Because nobody wants to have symptoms. I will say this over and over and over again. Medicine is fine, but we must address lifestyle. Okay? So if you're ready to change your lifestyle, here are 5 powerful, super simple steps. Okay? Number 1, time restricted eating. Okay? I'm going to do our next podcast on fasting because I have had, no joke, 3 conversations in this past week with friends who are all trying to adopt a fasting lifestyle, and they're doing it all wrong. No disrespect, but really and truly, fasting is a tool in the toolbox. It is not meant to be done every day. Time-restricted eating, on the other hand, is basically eating during daylight hours. Okay? So we stop eating after dinner, so somewhere between 6 and 7 o'clock, and then we don't eat breakfast again. We don't eat again in the morning until breakfast, which can be, like around 7 o'clock in the morning. Okay? Time-restricted eating. So we give the digestive tract a break. This also supports your circadian rhythm. The second thing we want to do is we want to clean up the eating window. This is what we call the time that we do eat. Okay? So we have the time restriction, which is from, let's say, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Now we have an eating window from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. During the eating window, we want to eliminate things like ultra-processed food, seed oils, and we want to focus on whole, nutrient-dense foods that nourish the body. At every meal, we want to be eating protein, healthy fat, fiber, and greens. Okay? Fab 4. And honestly, if you're eating your meals that way, you shouldn't even need to snack, right? If we're eating balanced meals, 3 of them a day, that should be sufficient. So work on cleaning up that eating window. The third thing, mind the gut microbiome, okay? Eat for your gut, not for your taste buds. Incorporate fermented foods into your diet, things like sauerkraut and kimchi and kefir, and fiber-rich foods that actually feed the probiotics, right? So all of these this diversity. So we want to try to eat plant diversity, different vegetables, different leafy greens, herbs, all of these things that actually help our gut stay healthy. We want to focus on incorporating those into our eating window. The fourth thing, stop rushing. Slow the F down. Create intentional pauses in your day and prioritize rest. You do not have to do everything. You do not have to run 4,000 miles with your hair on fire like a chicken without a head. It's not healthy. And wearing busyness like a badge is so out in 2025, at least in my book. Not cool, not good, really, really wrecks your health. And then the last thing I would say is learn about your adrenals and start to love them. Reduce your caffeine intake. Prioritize adaptogens and make sure that you're getting enough sleep. I cannot stress this enough. When our children were toddlers and they were cranky and they cried and they couldn't handle their emotions, the first thing we would say was, oh, they need a nap, or oh, it's early to bed. But we don't do that for ourselves. We can't regulate our own emotions. We fly off the handle. We lose our patience. And yet here we are, doom scrolling until midnight with the blue light flashing in our face. Our sleep is disrupted. We're not getting enough of it. We're up at the crack of dawn to do it all over again. We're hurting our poor adrenals. And ladies, especially those of you who are going through perimenopause, those adrenals, if they are tired and the baton tries to be handed, they're going to drop it. And that's when we get all sorts of symptoms of perimenopause. That's when we get the hot flashes and the weight gain and the night sweats and all the inability to sleep. It's all because our poor flippin' adrenals are like, we cannot do another thing. We're so exhausted. We need a break. So for the love of all things holy, please love your adrenals. And remember that small changes lead to big results. So pick one thing or two things to start with and then build from there. All right, I'm going to recap them real quick. First, time-restricted eating. Second, clean up the eating window. Third, feed the gut microbiome, not your taste buds. 4, stop rushing. 5, love those adrenals. Okay? When we focus on mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, and environmental health, we do create a ripple effect. And by taking ownership of our health and sharing what we've learned, we inspire others to do the same. So together, we can create a healthier future. Okay? Lifestyle is about one small change at a time. Consistency compounds. So I would encourage you, pick one small thing that you are going to try. Hit me up. Let me know what you're doing. Drop me an email. Comment on one of my social media posts. Say, hey, this is what I'm doing. And then encourage a friend to join you. Because remember, together is how we create a healthier future. Thanks a lot for joining me. I hope that this episode inspired you to look at lifestyle in a new way, and to remember that your body is designed to heal, but lifestyle is the key. And I hope that by me sharing my story with you, you are a little bit encouraged that no matter where you are, no matter how far you've strayed or how bad you think it is, you can always turn things around. Today is the first day. Start now. Don't wait till Monday. Don't wait for anything. Stop waiting. Stop waiting for permission. Stop asking what other people think. And start trusting your gut. Start trusting your intuition. Okay? Because we live inside of a miracle. And the body is capable of healing itself when we give it the right conditions. Lifestyle creates the right conditions. Okay? So until next time, when we talk about all things fasting, be well, be kind, cultivate your health. Thank you for joining me on this journey to educate and empower. I hope you found value in what you heard and will come back to listen again. Together, we're going to create a community of women empowered to transform their health. If you're excited to be part of this, please subscribe, leave a review, and share with the other women in your life who need health support tailored to that X chromosome. Until next time, be kind, be well, cultivate your health.